Hello everyone, welcome back to Lucky Loaders 15, and in this video we're going to be previewing the 2019 Cheltenham Gold Cup. We're going to be looking at some of the Antepost markets, and I'll be giving you my thoughts and feelings as we head towards next year's feature race over the jumps. And it's really taken shape over the last couple of days from the results we had at the Betfair Chase over at Haydock, where we had not a surprise winner but a winner that was quite written off by a lot of people, and that was Bristol De Mai. And to be honest, I was one of those people that wrote off Bristol De Mai, and I was thinking that before the race he didn't really have a chance because he didn't like his conditions, and also as well I've never really been convinced by his jumping. But I've taken a few days to process this race and to think about what does it all mean for the Gold Cup picture. And even though it still is a very muddled picture going forward to next year's big race, I think that Bristol De Mai actually should be a lot shorter in the betting. Now currently he's a 20-1 price, best odds with bookmakers at the moment. Now I think that's a bit harsh, and I think a lot of people actually have maybe given this horse a little bit too much stick. A lot of people beforehand, like myself, just thought he would want a lot of cut in the ground, and that was the key to him winning, and he wouldn't like the good ground. The likes of Might Bite, not maybe so Native River, but Thistlecrack would like the goodish ground that was being described at Haydock. So yeah, it was hard to know what to make of that Bristol De Mai effort, but I actually think at face value he actually has improved. And the reason that I think he's improved is because he's had a wind operation that's really gone under the radar, and a lot of people have forgotten about it. Now, his first run back after having a wind up was when he finished second in the Betway Bowl at Aintree behind Might Bite, and that wasn't a bad effort that day. And since we know about published wind operations that they made clear earlier in the year, we know now that when horses have had a wind up, they normally tend to come on when it's their second run, from the psychological aspects of it and things like that. So Bristol De Mai could be one that maybe has just been underestimated and really did do a good job in the Betfair Chase at Ascot to make it back-to-back victories. And he's shown that he's versatile as well. His jumping was good, and he'll go on good ground if the going at the Cheltenham Gold Cup is described as good. Now, I know a lot of people are going to be going, oh, I can't have Bristol De Mai, I can't have him. Well, I was never a big fan of him, really. I just thought he was a bit of a Haydock specialist. But the more you actually look at him and the more you analyse him, I think he's got a great chance of this year's Gold Cup if he can continue in a similar vein of form. Now, he does win away from Haydock. He won the Charlie Hall at Wetherby. Yes, he's never really done it at Cheltenham, but that's not to say he can't turn up there next year and put in a really good performance. And he might not win the race, but he certainly might make the frame. And at 20-1, I've actually had a little bit of an anti-post each way on him. I don't normally do a lot of anti-post betting, but I actually have done for Bristol De Mai. Now, if we actually want to look at the markets currently for the Cheltenham Gold Cup, the best horse that's well backed at the moment for this race is Presenting Percy, trained by Patrick Kelly, who's already been touted for this race straight after his RSA win at the Cheltenham Festival, where he absolutely was impressive that day, beating Monolly quite nicely. And Presenting Percy likes Cheltenham. He's also won before that at the Cheltenham Festival, so he's got no qualms about Cheltenham at all. A lot of people always think that horses will always continue to run well at Cheltenham, and horses that do elsewhere good but not good at Cheltenham never really deliver. And I don't think that's always true. Now, he's a 5-1 shot with bookmakers at the moment. We actually haven't seen him yet, but he's due to make his first run of the season. I believe it could be at Fairyhouse in the John Durkan Chase in a couple of weeks' time. So that's where he could be pitching up. Native River hasn't really changed in the market too much. Drifted out slightly to 7-1. I think if he was to win the Gold Cup, again, he's going to want more cut in the ground. He ran a good race, and he can run good races still on good ground, like he did when he finished third in the Cheltenham Gold Cup, and also as well when he showed his second the other day at Haydock. But I think he will like a bit of cutting the ground, and that's where I think he'll come into his own against other horses. And when there is going to be cutting the ground, I think Native River will go really well. So I think he's definitely, you can't rule him out yet at this stage. Might bite, who knows with him. Obviously, he didn't live up to expectations at all at the Betfair Chase at Haydock, and I never expected him to run a good race either, but I'm not sure really if he would be able to bounce back from a run like that. But if anyone can do it, it is Nicky Henderson. And I've never really been overly convinced with his jumping, and I don't think he finds a lot either. I think he's just a good cruising horse. I wasn't convinced by his King George win, like I said about in my Betfair Chase preview when he won the King George at Haydock. I was never convinced with that, and a lot of the horses in behind him weren't that far beaten. So for me, I